Oh, goody, goody. I think we're streaming. Just waiting for YouTube to pick up. Still says sending data. There it is. All right. So this is going to be kind of cool. And if you're actually going to look at this and watch this, it's going to be something new that most people haven't seen. Okay. And I'm gonna go in. It's not going to be difficult to understand at all. Sorry, I got something on Discord I gotta deal with real quick. Let me see here. All right, now let's look at this real quick, and I will show you what in the hell I am talking about. Because people are like, dude, this guy is off in the deep end. Like, what is he talking about? Like, they're just like, oh my God, he's so insane. I'm going to show you how simple. Okay, here's, if you were, okay, so if you hesitated on the drop this morning, all right, I'm going to show you how you could have got into that trade using this scalping method. And it's so freaking easy. These are 1 minute candles, all right? The first thing I'm going to do is you can use alerts. You don't have to even stare at it, right? But this setup's going to happen about every 5 to 15 minutes, honestly. So the first thing we can do is we can just get rid of the candles for a moment so I can show you what really is going on. All right, and then we're going to turn off these zones. We're just going to look at the lines that are sitting right here, okay? Now, this is before I get this wrong, what did I color things? White is 5 minutes. Okay, yeah, white is 5 minutes right here. So these zones right here, like the whole thing, this is a 15-minute candle turned into this, okay? And then if we turn on this one right here, this is a 5-minute candle turned into this, but it's using our trade shield coloring logic, right? And what I'm going to do now is just show you something. It's the same way I trade swing trades, but you could do the same thing on smaller time frames and scalping. So right here is 9:30. So we'll put a vertical line here just to point out 9:30, right? So if you're waiting to trade until they open, which is probably a good idea, there you go. Now, this white line, remember I told you, is the 5-minute candle. Okay. Well, the 5-minute candle, this line breaks away from the 15. See that? Breaks away. Okay. And your entry would be the pullback that respects the 15-minute zone. So this right here, see how it's respecting this? Okay. And then we get a momentum drop. So you can literally take the entry here. Your stop goes right there. Okay. Now let me show you how to exit especially on a trade like this, right? We're going to go back into not showing the dynamic fill. Okay. And we're going to not show the candles for a moment. When that white line crosses back up through the 15, that's your exit. All right. So I want you to really pay attention to what I'm showing you right now. So that means you're watching this, turn off the candles, don't get tricked by price action, right? And look at this white line. Look at how it's just following down with the 15, finally crosses up right here. This is a closed crossover right here. That's why you see that line there. If we look at the candles, it crossed right there. So had you been doing this morning, you would have entered there and closed right here. And that would have been the move that you obtained. Actually, is it this? Yeah, this candle this morning on this brown, using the first sight beacon as your entry method, using this method as your mode of entry, right? Now people are like, what in the hell has he got? What is this? It's not moving averages, believe me. Not a super trend. Okay. This is, I'll give you a little hint, but it's proprietary, so you're not going to really say much. But if here, we'll just turn this one off. Okay. We'll just have one on for now. I can take this zone, right? And I can go to session, and I have these options: New York, London, Asia, pre-market, 350 algo, initial balance, right? So if I turn on New York, for example, that's going to be the New York zone that's generated when New York opens. This is how it looks. Right here, watch this. So you know right then and there what we're doing as price is moving. See that? Right? There you go. Now, you can also take it and go into time-based, right? And we can go on any candle you want. So I love the 4-hour candle, right? The zone for the 4-hour candle. And then I love the end caps for that. Okay. So here's the 4-hour candle zone. Let's turn that thing off right there. This is, every one of these is a new 4-hour candle that starts. So if you want to trade the breakouts from 4-hour candles, I love these setups here. So this breaks down. This is the bottom wick of the 4-hour candle. You know when it's crossing back up through value right here, and that's your entry. And then you can hold it. See? Now, this is another one right here where it crosses back up and then it holds, and that's your entry on the 4-hour candle, right? And you can do that all day long. I love the 4-hour candle. That's basically our 10 and 2 setup, is trading 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. trading off of these new 4-hour zones. Okay. Now, so this is the 4-hour zone, but these other blocks that you're seeing down here, they're not support and resistance. They're not supply and demand. These are called end caps. And this is the 4-hour block. And if you set alerts on it, look at the kind of things that happen. Okay. And these are auto-populated on your chart. Right. And then you could go all the way down. Like you could go as small or as big of it as you want. Here's the weekly zone, which will have the weekly dynamic zone here, and it'll have the weekly end caps. We'll go into a higher time frame chart and I'll show you. See that? Like here's a weekly end cap. This was a good, once they're mitigated later on, they get deleted. So I'll show you an end cap rejection trade right here. Boom. This is a weekly end cap rejection. This is showing the end of the pullback. You enter here and you target the highs, right? And then there's your trade. You can hold as long as you want. That's called an ERE trade. It's called an end cap rejection trade. That is one of our main setups. You got a guy right now that just issued or requested a payout, trading nothing but this right here, just end cap rejections. It shows you where to enter, where to put your risk, and where to take a profit. It's so stupid simple. But this is the weekly zone. So that's a weekly candle turned into this zone here, and this is a weekly end cap, right? So, and then you could go as hell, we can go down to the annual. I use the annual and the monthly ones to find swing trades. So here's the year candle turned into this zone here. We'll go to 1-day candles to look at this. And there's yearly end caps right here. See this right here? Look at that rejection. Boom. All the way up here. Think this is a coincidence? This is not a coincidence, believe me. Look at this rejection off the dynamic zone right here. Boom. It's showing you the exact areas where price is going to return. So the first light beacon isn't like really a where do I get into the trades at? I mean, it can be used for that, but it's literally showing you when not to. It's showing you the best place that price is going to return to. Seriously, that's what it does. And it's in my opinion, it's the best at it. There is nothing better. Nothing you can manually draw can pinpoint this right here. This has nothing to do with price action. See that? Nothing to do with price action whatsoever. And look at that rejection there. Look at these rejections. This was an end cap rejection. There's an end cap here, rejection. Because once, like I said, once they're mitigated, they delete themselves, right? So there was one here. Oh, did it mitigate it? Yeah, it did, but it still rejected it. Watch. It just swept it, which happens sometimes. If I get into a trade and I get swept and I see it push, I just get back in. Right? But there it goes. But that's the first light beacon. Anyways, I don't want to go past the first part of this, which was the scalping thing that you could do. That's really simple. So anyway,